What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a bunch of lovely news about Keyforge Prime Championships that we need to have a gander about. The official Fantasy Flight Games, the makers of Keyforge website, has updated today with a bunch of information all about Prime Championships. So let's take a look, shall we? Although first question first. This creature here on this new artwork, which is definitely the same creature as on Wild Wormhole, has that had its own card yet? I don't think it has, but I want to make sure I'm not going silly. I've seen a couple of people describe it as Fuzzy Gruen. It's definitely not Fuzzy Gruen. Just look at them. So, has it had its own card yet? If not, I'd kind of like that it does. So, Prime Championships then. We'll have a look at the organised play pyramid at the end, but basically it is somewhere in between a store championship and a grand championship. Store championships, basically every store can have one once a year. Grand championships, every country can have one, they're basically nationals. Prime championships, we're looking at, well, I don't really know. They've not announced dates, locations, frequency or any of that. I'm assuming a few per country, like something along the lines of regionals in Pokemon, Crystal Cups in the Final Fantasy TCG, things of that nature. Hey-ho. So, we know that dates are going to be coming in the not-too-distant future, as are locations, and we know prizes. And that's about it, to be honest with you. We've known where it sits in the organised play pyramid for a little while now. Really, it's just prizes, dates and locations for which we've been waiting. So, they've got a little bit of a blurb. They're making a story out of this. Something is amiss. The air pulses and stings. The ground begins to tremble. Above in the atmosphere, a storm unlike any other grows and swells, inescapable and all-consuming. Tears in the very fabric of reality begin to form and start to swallow all forms of life as this turbulent monster begins its descent on the crucible. Amidst this pandemonium, the insatiable Archons remain undeterred in their pursuit of hidden vaults. It's during moments like these that the Archons are willing to risk everything for the chance to uncover these priceless treasures. Archons, the time has come to show off your talents at the upcoming Prime Championships. These Keyforge tournaments are a central part of the organised play path that leads to the World Championship and offer a more competitive environment that will challenge your abilities as a player. Forming the tier above Store Championships, Prime Championships draw talented players from all around to compete for amazing prizes and the chance of becoming a Prime Champion. So there we go. I read that to my daughter while she was having tea. She seemed entirely nonplussed. So starting off then with Amber Shards. Amber Shards, honestly, you're not getting the same amount of Amber for a Prime Championship that you would for a Vault Tour. Vault Tours are very, very strange in terms of the Keyforge organised play pyramid, because they're not in it. And they haven't seemed strange up till now, because we've had chain-bound events and Vault Tours and that's been it. Store Championships are just about to start. Well, in the UK, the first one's in just over a month. First one has been announced anyway. And then we've got the very first Grand Championship coming up next weekend. So the organised play pyramid as a whole is really starting. Vault Tours give you Amber Shards by the bucket load, but they don't give you any other prizes. All the prizes from Vault Tours have to be essentially taken from the prize wall using your Amber Shards. Not literally just taken, that would be wrong. So to put numbers on it, you go to a Vault Tour, you get 30 shards for participating, 15 for a win, and 500 if you win the entire tournament. Whereas a Prime Championship, you get 10 for participating, 5 for a win, and 75 for winning the entire tournament. It's 1/3 until you get up to the winner, where it's less than 1/6. But it's not about the Amber Shards. If you really want to hoover up Amber Shards, Vault Tours are the place to do it. Because even Grand Championships, which are your nationals, it's 20 for participating, 10 for a win, 150 for winning the whole tournament. It's not particularly great outside of a Vault Tour trying to gain your Amber Shards. You'll still get a bunch of Amber Shards, you'll still be able to get mats and all of that stuff, but if you really want to gain your Amber Shards to get the chair or the table, yeah, you're really going to want to start crushing Vault Tours. or buying an obscene amount of decks, which I'm not sure I would necessarily recommend. Now, they did in the article today give a little bit of extra information. If you're top 8, you get 20 bonus shards, and if you're in top 4, you get 30 bonus shards. Which, bearing in mind 30 is a participation for a Vault Tour, is still not all that much. But the good news is you get actual factual swag. Like I've said, go to a Vault Tour, get Amber Shards, but going to a Prime Championship gets you exclusive Prime Championship swag. Make it into top 16 and you will get yourself 5 blue acrylic stun tokens. They're kinda beautiful. They show when a creature is stunned. So a Tremor, for instance, comes along, stuns a couple of creatures. Yay! Don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen, because you've got your acrylic stun tokens. And life is good. And to be fair, always nice to have a few acrylic stun tokens lying around. It really depends on how you feel about tokens. I know a lot of people have their own specific tokens they prefer using, but if you don't, these are pretty cool. You also receive a crimson coloured deck box with brand new Keyforge artwork. The same artwork that I showed you earlier, and indeed extremely reminiscent of Wild Wormhole. Please tell me there's going to be some kind of time-travelling alternate dimension styled card featuring this creature. That would be lovely. There's also a designated area on the side of the deck box where you can mark your deck's factions. And it doesn't say this, but clearly there's space to write the name of the deck as well. Interested to know what these are going to be made of? I suspect they're going to be cardboard. Be way, way better if they were plastic, but it'd also be far less cost effective. I think we can assume they're cardboard unless we hear otherwise. So top 16, you're getting the tokens and the deck box. That's quite nice. If you make it into top 8, you get a playmat featuring the Grim Reaper. Bearing in mind the Grim Reaper was one of those new cards from Worlds Collide that we had revealed rather recently. It is the only card we've yet seen, which is an anomaly. Now, I want to see a lot more of these, but the Grim Reaper, well, all anomalies can belong to any house. They've shown us the Grim Reaper as a Brobnar creature, but it doesn't have to be a Brobnar creature. It can appear in any of the 9 houses. Well, in Worlds Collide 7, because Mars and Sanctum aren't in it. But outside of that, essentially any of them. And it's weird. It looks different to the other cards. It can be played ready if you've got 10 cards in your discard pile, i.e. you are haunted. And when you reap, you purge an enemy creature and a friendly creature. I want to say then that these anomalies are going to be both good and bad for the player using them, and I want to say that they're going to have mechanics that allow you to play them ready, but honestly, we've only seen one anomaly. It's not fair to start extrapolating trends. But aside from all of that, the playmat is absolutely beautiful. And aside from the bonus Amber Shards, that's what you get for top 8. Make it into top 8, get a mat. Make it into top 4, you get yourself a sizable deck box able to hold multiple Archon decks. And it does feature Worlds Collide artwork because as far as I'm aware, this creature has not been featured on a card we've had revealed so far. If I'm incorrect about that, please do correct me in the comment section. I shall be very happy to be corrected. I shall in no way, shape or form be offended. So there's a little bit of a hint at something that's going to be coming, I assume, in Worlds Collide. So you get the deck box. Again, the material is going to be important. I assume it's going to be cardboard. If you make it to the final, you get yourself some keys. Now, on the website, it doesn't show you the back of the keys. But the good news is that there is a lovely person over on Facebook that has posted the back of the keys, and you will notice that they are stamped with the Prime Championship logo in the same way that the Vault Tour keys are stamped on the back with Vault Tour. So that's kind of cool. These are not generic keys. These are keys which are very, very much Prime Championship keys. So that's pretty gosh darn cool. But what if you're the champion? What if you go and win the Prime Championship? Well, you get this beautiful playmat featuring, we don't know. Now, there is a description of it, A crackling dragon that's surging with raw, unbridled power. This behemoth will have a profound impact on any other creature, and it's sure to even instill fear in Archons. It's even possible that this beast is solely responsible for the mayhem that has enveloped the surroundings. I'm assuming, therefore, that this is going to be an anomaly like the Grim Reaper. It would make sense that both the playmats given out would be anomalies, plus with all of this electricity crackling around the creature, that reminds me very, very much indeed of the crackling round the border of the Grim Reaper. Either way, if you make it all the way to winning a Prime Championship, you get a pair of pretty exclusive playmats. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, and you also get an invite to the World Championships. And it's on a Dominator bauble. How cool is that? Your Worlds invite is a Dominator bauble. I'm assuming you don't actually have to take that invite to play in Worlds. Otherwise, if your luggage gets lost, that's gonna be really sad. Of course, Worlds will be invite only. Now, as we've been told at the moment, if you get top 4 at a Grand Championship, you get a World invite. Top 1, the winner only gets an invite at Prime Championships, and some players who have got lots of Amber Shards from Vault Tours will get invites, but it's not been announced how that's going to work yet. Now, it has been confirmed on Facebook by the lovely Matt Holland, who does work in the FFG Organised Play department, that invites will pass down, but only once. That is to say, if the winner of a Prime Championship already has an invite, it will pass to the second place, but it will not pass down any further. The interesting question for me is what happens if somebody at a Prime Championship doesn't have a Worlds invite, wins a Prime Championship, and is later awarded a Worlds invite from being one of the top players at the Vault Tour. Does it pass down to the second place at the Prime Championship he won? Does it pass down one further place in the leaderboard for Vault Tours? The answer is, I don't know, and it hasn't been announced. So that is what we know about Prime Championships. It's pretty gosh darned exciting. And we've now had news, if we look at the Organised Play Pyramid, on everything but the World Championships. It has been confirmed there will not be a Keyforge World Championship this year. They are essentially giving the game a year to settle in, and then starting with World Championships next year, which gives you a bit longer to get your invite, and a bit less of an excuse if you don't. I'm still crossing my fingers there's going to be a stream and I'm not playing at Worlds because I'm sitting behind a microphone. That would be awesome. That's my dream for Pokemon as well. One day it's going to happen. It probably won't, but one day I really want it to happen. Although, incidentally, right, even in the very unlikely chance that does happen, you still kind of want to have an invite so you can sit there being, no, I'm doing this, but I had my invite. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about Prime Championships. I want to know how psyched you are to attend them, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about Keyforge and any other games that take my fancy. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.